Good evening, you're watching Otrar News. Diana Idris and Yaroslav Koralbek working at the studio, and here are the main topics of today. Kazakhstan and the United Nations outcomes of bilateral meetings in New York. International Monetary Fund assesses Kazakhstan's economy. Kazakhstan diplomacy and trade. US vice presidential debate. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 20-year-old Kazakhstani conquers world charts. The 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly has concluded, and it brought significant results for Kazakhstan. One of the key highlights was the active participation of the Kazakh delegation in discussions on global issues such as sustainable development, combating climate change, and ensuring international security. Kazakhstan emphasized the importance of nuclear disarmament and reducing carbon emissions, reaffirming its commitment to climate agreements. Special attention was given to enhancing cooperation between Kazakhstan and the United Nations in areas of sustainable development and peace building, including the potential for ecological and social policy projects. During the trip, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Murat Nurtleu met with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who praised Kazakhstan's contributions, noting that the country serves as a bridge between East and West and a reliable partner in promoting multilateralism and dialogue. He also expressed gratitude for Kazakhstan's support of United Nations initiatives, including the establishment of the Regional Center for Sustainable Development in Central Asia and Afghanistan. Experts from the International Monetary Fund have reported on the results of their visit to Astana, where they evaluated Kazakhstan's economic resilience. In their report, economists highlighted several significant risks, including sanctions. Despite these risks, Kazakhstan's economy and financial sector remain stable. IMF experts recommend maintaining a tight monetary policy until inflation decreases, as well as implementing structural reforms. The forecast for 2024 predicts a 3.5% GDP growth, driven by industry and construction. External threats include slower growth among trading partners and the ongoing war in Ukraine, while internal risks include inflation and social instability. Efforts are needed for decarbonization and improving the energy infrastructure. Furthermore, IMF Mission Chief for Kazakhstan Nicolas Blanchet pointed out the increasing and opaque use of the national fund's resources. He stressed that the fund's role is not to cover the annual budget deficit, but to be a part of long-term strategic asset allocation for future growth. Senior economist at the IMF's Middle East and Central Asia Department, Dina Henk, added that the 2026 state budget of Kazakhstan plans to reduce national fund spending. Additionally, a new tax code will be introduced, potentially bringing an additional 2 trillion tenge into the budget, which could be used to cover budgetary expenses. The complex geopolitical situation in the world is also impacting Kazakhstan. The country, which has a 7,000-kilometer border with Russia, is currently balancing on the edge. It needs to maintain beneficial relations with Moscow while simultaneously resisting Western pressure regarding sanction compliance. To gain a deeper understanding of the situation, our editorial team reached out to an expert from Berlin, political scientist and journalist Gerard Jr., and political scientist from Almaty, Zhenirke, Shansharkhan. My colleague Yaroslav Koralbek has the details.
After the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, the EU and the US shifted their cooperation towards Central Asian countries. For instance, on November 1, 2023, French President Emmanuel Macron visited Kazakhstan to discuss cooperation in uranium supply following the loss of a major supplier in Niger. Just recently, on September 16 of 2024, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz participated in an economic summit focused on cooperation in renewable energy, resource security, and sustainable development. His visit also included meetings with representatives of leading German companies and banks, given Kazakhstan's position between two major powers, which is heavily relies on economically, and how it can effectively organize trade with Europe.
Germany should pursue a balanced policy to strengthen Kazakhstan as a stable partner. Scholz's participation in the recent summit highlights Kazakhstan's economic importance. The country is balancing its relation between Russia and the West, while facing Western pressure to support sanctions. Germany must aim for a pragmatic partnership, ensuring it does not exacerbate geopolitical tensions.
Kazakhstan's location between Russia and China provides opportunities for its development as a transit hub between Asia and Europe. To effectively leverage this geostrategic position, the country is modernizing its railways and transport corridors. In 2021, the volume of transit cargo traffic through Kazakhstan increased by 47%, indicating the country's high transit potential. For example, investments of $1 billion planned for 2020 and 2025 are aimed at upgrading railway infrastructure, which will enhance the speed and efficiency of cargo transportation. The development of the Trans-Caspian International Transport Route facilitates faster delivery times to Europe. It is expected that by 2020 the volume of cargo shipments from China to Europe via this route will reach 40,000 20-foot equivalent units. Expanding this route will enable Kazakhstan to create alternative pathways to Europe through the Black Sea. Additionally, in 2021, cargo volumes between Kazakhstan and Iran amounted to 1.2 million tons, underscoring the importance of diversifying transportation routes through these corridors. To develop trade relations with Europe, Kazakhstan is investing billions of dollars in transport infrastructure and establishing cooperation with international financial institutions. For instance, the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, EBRD, plans to invest €100 million in the development of the country's railway transport. These measures will help Kazakhstan increase revenues from transit transport and effectively organize trade relations with Europe. Moreover, the digitalization of customs procedures will reduce delivery times and costs, further simplifying trade.
Experts claim that Kazakhstan is a middle power. Furthermore, Astana employs bilateral policy to remain as neutral as possible. However, despite this, what strategies should be used to develop trade relations with Asian countries within the context of Kazakhstan's multi-vector foreign policy?
Trade agreements like the EU-Kazakhstan Partnership and international organizations like the WTO play a crucial role in promoting Kazakhstani goods in the German market. Scholz's summit underscores the interest in stable trade relations. These agreements facilitate market access and help Kazakhstan align with international standards, enabling it to better position itself in the European market, despite geopolitical challenges.
Kazakhstan's multi-vector foreign policy aims to strengthen trade ties with Asian countries. Its relations with China, South Korea, Japan, and Southeast Asian states play a significant role in boosting trade. For instance, through its cooperation with China, the Belt and Road Initiative provides Kazakhstan with opportunities to access markets in China and South Asia by creating transit corridors. In 2022, Kazakhstan prioritized the development of transit corridors with China and launched several projects to diversify cargo transport routes. Strengthening trade relations with Central Asia is one of Kazakhstan's foreign policy priorities. In 2022, trade volume between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan significantly increased. Joint investments in infrastructure projects are enhancing economic ties between Kazakhstan and Central Asia. These projects enhance Kazakhstan's transit potential and expand access to external markets. To develop trade with Asian countries, Kazakhstan focuses on establishing alternative transit corridors. The Trans-Caspian International Transport Route, which enables the transportation of goods through Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Turkey to Europe and Asia, is one of the crucial directions. Additionally, under the Nurli Shoal program, Kazakhstan is working to improve transit corridors and enhance the investment climate, which helps attract direct investments from Asia.
Summarizing the analysis with the experts, Kazakhstan should pursue multifaceted diplomatic trade, emphasizing the diversification of trading partners to reduce dependence, developing transit corridors to improve market access, investing in infrastructure to enhance competitiveness, and simplifying customs procedures to expedite cargo transport and lower costs. These steps will help effectively utilize the country's strategic position between China and Russia.
This week, New York not only welcomed international guests, but also captured the attention of all Americans. The city hosted the United States vice presidential debates between Republican Senator J.D. Vance and Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. The candidates debated key issues related to the economy, national security, and foreign policy. Vance focused on military spending and accused Walz of distorting the military record, prompting Walz to defend himself, emphasizing the importance of social reforms and tackling economic inequality. Climate change and taxes were also hot topics in the discussion. It's important to note that vice presidential candidates are listed on the ballot, and their election is directly influenced by the voters. The debates organized by CBS News were a pivotal moment in the campaign, highlighting the stark differences between the candidates and their approaches to governing the country. Vance sought to emphasize his strong stance on defense and combating international threats, while Walz focused on social justice, climate, and improving domestic infrastructure. The debate between J.D. Vance, running for vice president alongside Republican candidate Donald Trump, and Tim Walz, representing Joe Biden, are crucial ahead of the election on November 5, 2024. Both parties are targeting key battleground states such as Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona, where the results remain uncertain. The outcome in these swing states will determine who the next president and vice president of the United States will be. Every October, the world marks Breast Cancer Awareness Month. This month is dedicated to raising awareness about the disease, promoting prevention, and encouraging early diagnosis. Support and public education are vital in the fight against breast cancer, and it's important to remember that early detection significantly improves chances of successful treatment. What treatment methods do oncologists in the Turkestan region offer? 4 years ago, mother of 3 Nursulu Temirova could hardly believe the devastating diagnosis, stage 2 breast cancer. She sought multiple opinions, unwilling to accept the reality of her illness. However, once she came to terms with the diagnosis, she decided to begin treatment.
После биопсии озвучили, что у меня рак молочной железы.
After the biopsy, I was told I had breast cancer. Of course, it was a shock and overwhelming, a denial of the diagnosis, but it was confirmed, and I had to start treatment immediately.
Statistics show that upon learning of their diagnosis, many patients struggle to accept it, delaying treatment and losing precious time that could be critical to full recovery. Breast cancer is one of the most common cancers among women.
Ну, на самом деле, сразу принять ни у кого не получится. Даже я, будучи врачом...
It's tough for anyone to accept a diagnosis right away. Even as a doctor, I had moments when I wanted to give up. This is when the support of loved ones is crucial, to provide emotional backing, and it's important to engage in something you love and stay positive.
Statistically, 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with it. However, early detection and timely treatment can greatly increase the chances of recovery. Doctors strongly recommend regular checkups, including mammograms, starting at age 40.
Доброкачественные, злокачественные на ранних стадиях. То есть это массовые обследования.
Screening is essential to detect tumors, whether benign or malignant, in their early stages. There is no clear answer as to what causes breast cancer, but contributing factors include stress, abortions, the environment, and heredity.
Modern medicine offers a range of treatments for breast cancer, from localized to systemic approaches. Treatment depends on the stage of the disease, tumor type, and hormonal status.
Оперативные лечения сейчас претерпели очень большие изменения.
Surgical treatments have advanced. Depending on the size of the tumor and its subtype, we can even perform organ-preserving operations. There are implants available, and we offer to replace the breast with implants.
Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev has repeatedly emphasized the importance of cancer care in the country. He noted that Kazakhstan must focus on prevention, early diagnosis, and modern treatment methods for cancer, while also stressing the importance of advanced technologies for cancer diagnosis and treatment.
We will improve healthcare by raising the quality of medical services and access to them, especially in relation to cancer, which poses a serious threat to the health of the nation.
In 2023, 241 women were diagnosed with breast cancer. Oncologists remind us that cancer is not a death sentence, but a disease that can be and must be fought. Kazakhstan continues to amaze the global music industry. A young talent, 20-year-old musician from Aktobe is conquering the world charts, winning the hearts of listeners not only in the CIS, but far beyond its borders. Our editorial team spoke with the artist and learned how he achieved such heights. The young musician named Nurbek Musayev has already garnered over 1.9 million listeners in the Yandex Music platform and around 9 million monthly streams. His track Slay has become a true hit in the funk genre in 2024, reaching 147 million streams on Spotify. Another track, Bradiaga Funk, has collected 108 million streams. Nurbek himself admits that this success was a complete surprise to him.
I honestly did not expect such a breakthrough. I used to dream of reaching 1 million listeners at most, and now I have 10 million a month. It's incredible. When I started writing Slay, it was February. I wrote the melody, but left the project for a while. I wrote the melody, but left the project for later. And when I returned to it, I realized that it sounded great, so I decided to finish the track. And then I sent it to my manager and he said, track would definitely go viral. And within a week, the song gained 2 million streams, which is really amazing. I was invited to Poland for a performance and I will keep going to work on music and experiment with the new genres.
Nurbek told us how the main hit of the funk genre hit track, Slay, was created, which literally exploded on music platforms. Nurbek has even more ambitious plans ahead. He received an invitation to perform in one of the European countries. The young artist from Kazakhstan confidently strides towards new heights, and it seems this is just the beginning of his big journey on the world stage. That's all for now. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.